We walked around campus. We wanted to see what other students feel about the housing process. We wanted to give you guys some tips. So I walked around campus about a year ago now with a notebook, piece of paper, and pen, and I asked them, give some advice, because I want to be talking in front of an audience of 400 students who are coming to the university, and I want you to give them some advice on the housing process. And this is what they said. This person said, living with close friends, may not be the best idea, right? So think about these things. You're friends with your friends because you have similar personalities. You are not friends with your friends because they have the same living arrangement or environment. I lived with some friends from high school. My friends in high school thought a great idea. Our room kind of smells a little bit. We should freshen it up. So their idea of freshening the room up was taking orange peels and throwing them behind the couch to freshen the room. Citrus, right? Citrus. A couple weeks later, those orange peels do not start to smell so nice. So these are the things to work out with your roommates before. So maybe living with close friends might not be the best thing. This student said, I get to live with my best friend, and it's awesome. So you never know. Some students live with friends, some students don't. It's totally up to you. You can live with your friend, or you can live with someone new. This student said, meet and live with someone new, someone who isn't just like you. Apparently this person was Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss, everybody, that's where it was. Rhyming, they got the rhyming going. This student said, do not judge roommates you have met based on their Facebook. That's pretty important advice, right? Maybe everything you list on Facebook or that picture is not a great description of who you are as an individual. Don't judge me based on my Facebook, right? My father-in-law got Facebook. He's so excited about this thing. He got Facebook recently. My father-in-law is a dairy farmer from Cass City, Michigan. My father-in-law, and he got Facebook the other day. He thinks it's going to boost milk production. I don't know what he's thinking, but so he gets this Facebook, and but he doesn't call it by the right name. He's like, Dan, he calls me, and I don't have Facebook. He calls me, Dan, you gotta check out my face. Get on my face. I'm like, Dad, I don't think you're saying that right. He's like, yeah, you gotta check out my face. It's awesome. I can keep in touch with all the girls. And I'm like, Dad, not my face. Anyway. He's pretty excited, riding the wave of the future here. Perfect roommates. This is how we help out to make sure that roommate transition is smooth. Maybe you don't know who you're living with, or maybe you do. It doesn't matter. All of you will create a roommate agreement workbook the moment you start to move in together. This will set the community standards. Now, there's rules for the floor, there's rooms for the hall, there's rules for the room. But you guys are going to create community standards within your own room and hold yourself to a set of standards like who's going to clean the bathroom once a semester, right? These types of things. Maybe we're making a rule that we can't wear each other's clothes. You guys laugh. This is true stuff. So you guys are going to make these rules with one another, and then your RA, you're going to communicate those with your RA or your MA, and they're going to hold you to those, all right? So that you have an idea of those standards and halls. If they're ever broken, they can be revisited, but they will call those into question. They'll call them into check for you. So that's how we make sure that roommates work stuff out. Parents, this is a super important note. Try your best to allow your students to work through these issues. All right? Housing is such a developmental time, such a time for your students to actually have to deal with real life stuff. It's super important that you just let them work through stuff. Inevitably, we will step in if there's a problem, if there's major issues. I promise you, residence life and academic advising and individuals will step in to make sure if there's any major problems. But inevitably, this is what's going to happen. Mom, Dad, you're going to get that phone call within 24 hours of the daughter or son moving in. Mom, they're so weird, right? And your instinct immediately is going to kick in. I got to go up there. I got to rescue them. I got to change the roommate. I got to fix everything. You let a little time go by. Just let the weekend go by. You call back on Monday morning. How's everything with the roommate? Oh, it's super cool. We're like BFF. Just give it the weekend, all right? Give it the weekend. It's going to be all right. Try to let your students work through their stuff. 22 co-ed halls. 3 halls are open all year round. All the halls are tobacco-free, different models to choose from. Now, some of you, especially alumni, remember when all the halls on campus were either all guy or all girl. 22 halls on campus are now co-ed. They did this large university nationwide study, and Central was a part of it. They studied 200 universities, and they studied a couple things. Students who lived in co-ed environments versus all guy or all girl halls. Students who live in co-ed environments, do they get better grades? Are they more likely to get involved? Are they more likely to graduate sooner from university? So they did this huge nationwide study, and Central was a part of it. I read the study. I had a hypothesis. I thought, absolutely, students who live in co-ed halls, they're going to do better in school. They're going to get better grades because they're going to want to be around. They're going to want to be around girls if they're boys, or boys if they're girls. And I thought, my first instinct was that boys wanted to be around the girls because girls are cute, so boys want to be around them. It was actually not the case. So I thought maybe it's because the girls want to be around the boys. Because boys are cute, so girls want to be around the boys, right? It was not the case. Girls wanted to be away from other girls. Look, the girls are like nodding in the audience with me, like totally agreeing with me. I don't even have to defend it, right? The females in the study performed better in school. They were more likely to graduate in 4 years, and they got more involved. The males in the study performed poorly in both cases. There was no correlation one way or the other. Having girls there or not made no difference. Didn't make a difference. These are the floor plans. This is what your freshman year will look like. This model to the right is what you're most likely going to live in. About a little shy of 70% of our incoming class will live in this model right here. If you've ever come on tour of campus, you've walked through one of those before. This is our standard suite. It's got 2 bedrooms on either side, a living room in the middle. Some of you may live in the towers. It's one of the most popular housing styles we have on campus. It has one of the largest populations of freshman students in one location. It looks like that. It's a little bit bigger of a room style in the sense that it's got a bigger study and a bigger bedroom, but it is just 1 bedroom, 4 beds in 1 room. As soon as you're sophomores on campus, you might live in one of these. Chilani and Fabiano, Kessler, Kohlhavi, and Campbell Hall. 4 individual private bedrooms, 2 private baths instead of just 1, and a living room that's about as big as the entire It gets real nice. Moving on up, right? Like the Jeffersons. It gets real nice as soon as you're a sophomore. I say that because a lot of times they're gobbled up before you freshmen get a crack at them. Right now, the current students who live on campus are choosing halls already. So a lot of these room styles are going to be gone. In fact, I looked at the list the other day, and I was pretty sure that these were already taken up for next year. So the freshman room style, resident assistants live in every single floor community. Your RA will be on every floor. In fact, multiple RAs will be on every floor. An RA is someone that you can communicate your work ethic, your involvement. There's someone who can get you in touch with campus programs and events. It's someone who can help you out if you're having a tough time transitioning to college. Multicultural advisors, those are individuals to try and get you in touch with individuals that maybe you don't know, or maybe individuals who come from diverse or different backgrounds than you. Okay, as I look out over the audience tonight, you guys would be very surprised. You're going to meet students from all over the state of Michigan. We have a student from every county coming this year. All right? You're going to meet students from big high schools, small high schools. I graduated in a high school graduating class of 695 students. You think that's big? We have students coming from Plymouth Canton this year. Plymouth Canton, graduating class, 1,500 students. Could you imagine going to senior prom with 1,500 people? It's 4 times the audience in here tonight. We also have students coming from Port Hope, Michigan. East side of the thumb, Port Hope, graduating class, 7 students this year. 7. Could you imagine going to senior prom with 7 students? 14 if we include the juniors, woo! Right? Guys, could you imagine being able to say, I've dated every girl in my senior class, all 3 of them. One of them I was sort of related to. It's kind of weird. No, I'm just joking. You're going to meet students from all over. Big schools, small schools, so it's important that these multicultural advisors get you in touch with some of those individuals. Professional staff, RHDs, they live in every single hall. We made a decision at a university several years ago not to have a GA kind of check in on the hall from now again. A master's degree professional and their family lives in every single hall community. They are family environments, family atmospheres. It's not uncommon to go to the dining commons and see kids running around. It's a family environment, family atmosphere, and we have RHDs who live in every single community. Study lounges, laundry, kitchenettes, state-of-the-art dining and convenience stores. There's a convenience store in every single residence hall. Individual desks and chairs, cable, internet, high-speed, wireless, closets, clothes dressers, landline telephones, single beds with extra-long mattresses. Parents who are buying sheets for your students, Target, that's what you're looking for right there. A single extra long. That's the sheet that fits the bed. Writing it down, I know. Some halls have select features. Some halls feature classrooms that are built right into the lobby, so you can go to class just downstairs. Class in your slippers if you want to. Some of them feature fitness centers and fitness classes, such as the one behind me. You can wake up in the morning and you can go and do yoga in the lobby before you go to class in the morning. Not kidding. Fitness classes, fitness centers. E-laundry service. This is the new thing. You guys heard this? E-laundry service? This is great. Check this out. You put your laundry in and then it emails you when it's done. What? I know. It's awesome. E-laundry service. Picture this. Okay, first of all, I should say that parents, you remember the days when you would put your laundry in, when you were in college, you'd put your laundry in, and if you were not there the moment that laundry was done, you came back to a wet pile of laundry next to the washer and dryer, right? Not anymore. Parents are not anymore. e-laundry service. You're walking across campus, iPhone starts buzzing, catch your ringtone again, right? Oh, guys, sorry, laundry's done, gotta go. What? I know, it's the greatest thing ever. Wake-up calls. A lot of times the front desk will actually provide a wake-up call. Jessica, time to get up, class. It was like 5 minutes ago. Let's do this. Air conditioning in some of the halls as well. I get this question a lot, air conditioning. Students, don't stress out about this, all right? You're in college from the last weekend of August to the first weekend of May. Other than this winter specifically, you may need air conditioning the last weekend of August. Other than that, heat is not an issue. You're in college during the winter, so you don't have to really worry about air conditioning too often. But some halls have it. Some halls have these things called theme halls, or they're specifically designed in and around an area that you're interested in focusing on in the future or something you were heavily involved in the past. Theme halls such as a first-year learning community. So if you're a first-year student and you want to get in touch with other first-year students who are interested in going to football games, basketball games, getting involved on campus, doing different clubs and organizations and getting involved, first-year learning community. Trout Hall, Global Village if you want to live with an international student. Honors program, Lars Lear Hall. The Leader Advancement program this year is in Barnes. It's in Barnes every year. Sports management, Sachs Hall. I got really excited about it. Like I wanted to deliver that line with some passion. Transfer student community in Kolhavi Hall. That's one of the upperclassmen residence halls. So if you are a transfer student, you can live in Kolhavi. Multicultural or Cofer scholars in Troutman and public service if you really want to get involved in giving back to the community. Barnes Hall as well. Some halls are what we call residential colleges, or they're specific halls designed in around something you want to study in the future. Give you an example, business halls in Calkins, education and human services in Sweeney. So if you want to be a teacher in the future, you may live in Sweeney Hall. Now they design these halls for a couple reasons. A, you're going to find the largest pocket of students studying the same thing in the same environment that you live in. Study partners, huge. Two, the academic advisors in that area are specific to these programs. They know all programs at the university, but they're very, very versed in the hoops that you have to jump through to get into the business program, or the different facets and hoops you have to jump through in order to get into the education program. Health professions in Emmons Hall, and third thing that they do, they're some of the closest buildings to the major and minor buildings as far as proximity or walking distance. Now, our whole campus is only about a 10, 15-minute walk from one end to the other anyway, but it's real nice if it's a 30-second walk to class and back every day. Science and Tech in Wolt, and music is in Herrig Hall. What's for dinner? Let's cover it. I know a lot of you guys are saying, when will I eat? How much will I eat? What am I going to eat? That's all I want to know, right? We're going to fill you in. So here's what's for dinner. First of all, we have 5 different meal plans here at the university. 4 meal plans. The first one's called the Best Value. It's an unlimited meal option. A lot of you will start off with this meal option. I'm going to first cover the meal options, and you'll notice there's another thing called flex dollars. We're going to get into that in just a bit. I don't want that to confuse you. So you can go with the unlimited meal option. A lot of students will begin with the unlimited meal option, and a lot of students will oftentimes quickly downgrade to a smaller, such as the Central 16, which is 16 meals per week. All right? Or maybe you'll downgrade even further to Central 14, now the Central 10. I get a lot of students who say, I'm going to do the unlimited, And most students will usually downgrade really for 2 reasons. A, breakfast is before 9 a.m. That doesn't sit well with a whole lot of college students, okay? Most college students are brunch people. It's a sophisticated way of saying that they like to sleep in. Don't let anybody call you lazy. Just say, yes, I'm a brunch person, all right? So a lot of students will downgrade. Second reason, it's 3 all-you-can-eat buffets a day. Sometimes that's pretty intense for students. It's all exciting at first, but within a week or so, you're like, wow, it's a lot of food. 3 all-you-can-eat buffets a day. That's all right. You know, I got a lot of football players who say, I want to do the unlimited. I'm going to do the unlimited. And I'm like, breakfast is before 9 a.m. I'm probably not going to do the unlimited anymore. 14, or you can go all the way down to 10 meals a week if you prefer. Now, aside of that, you're going to see these things called flex dollars. These are additional debit card dollars that come preloaded on your Central Michigan ID card. So you use your Central Michigan ID card to get yourself in and out of the dining commons, and if you're ever running to class and you don't have time to eat a meal, or after class, or maybe late at night you're doing some studying, you can use those flex dollars at any of the convenience stores, coffee shops, sandwich places, or bagel joints all over campus. All right? Every hall has a convenience store. Almost every single academic building has a coffee shop. So if you're maybe someone who likes to get a Pop-Tart on the way to class, you can do that. All right? That's what those flex meals are. And you'll notice the farther you downgrade the meal option, the higher those flex dollars go. Parents, you can always add additional flex dollars to the plan if you want to. It's a nice little surprise or a nice little, say, hey, you got an A on your test. Here's an extra $100 flex. Go get yourself a pizza. That's an expensive pizza. I know. Go get one. It's nice. So those are the meal options. Technology. Oh, yes, question. I had a great question, folks, in the back if you didn't hear. Is it per week or is it per semester? It's per semester. It's per semester, okay? And it's important to note, they don't roll over. So students use them. If they're there for you, use them. Technology. All of the halls are wireless on campus. Macs and PCs are available in all the computer centers. Latest software and access to printers 24 hours a day. And printing is free on campus. Now, there is a quota to how many pages you can print, but with the digital age, most students don't even come close. So you can print absolutely fine, and we also have initial help with setup, virus protection, networking, all that stuff, so your computers will run fine. Whether you run OS X, which is Mac, or if you want to run PC-based platforms, usually Windows, or even if you build your own, which is a Linux-based background, you can absolutely, they'll communicate fine. We run a tri-platform network here at the university. They communicate fine with professors, your papers, everything will be just fine. Technology is great. Success centers are located in every single academic center, okay, or every single residence hall. We made a decision as a university several years ago, again, not to make students have to seek out this stuff. We put it in every single residential community. It's as simple as you guys walking to the lobby if you need some help with academic advising, planning next year's semester schedule, getting in touch with tutoring, writing and math centers. They're built into every single hall community. There's no excuse. It's right downstairs. It's really neat. Counselors and residents, and obviously community police officers as well. Speaking of campus community police officers, safety and security is a huge, something we take a lot of pride in here at the university, and a big kind of effort that we take part to make sure that you guys feel and are safe at the university. I get the question all the time, is Central Michigan University a safe campus or a safe university? And the honest answer is absolutely. It is a very safe community. In fact, you can check our crime stats or safety statistics online. You will find only one other university in the state that even comes close to us in safety standards and statistics. We're a very safe community, and this is why. 24-hour service desks, monitored guest check-in every single day. So if you bring a guest to the hall, they check in, they check out. Locked mail, security cameras. Central Michigan Alert System. The Central Michigan Alert System, this is really neat. You guys can enroll in this now, actually, as students. Now that you have your global ID and password, you can enroll in the alert system. That is an immediate, anytime there's inclement weather or a snowstorm coming, you get an instant text, cell phone call, and email right away, letting you know what's going on. While 22 loudspeakers on campus also broadcast that to the general public. It's a really neat system here on campus. Safe Rides, which is a marked police vehicle just like this one in the picture behind you, that will come and pick you guys up. 2 upperclassmen students, a male student and a female student, will take you anywhere you want to go on campus. So if it's late, you're studying, and you want to get a ride from your friend who lives in Trout Hall all the way down to Trout Min Hall, you can get a ride. Absolutely fine. Or maybe it's just cold outside and you want to take advantage of it. Safe Rides. 5 local police departments, and this is the biggest effort. We do a lot of bragging at our university about the safety statistics and standards, but the truth is, these guys are the real heroes. This is really what keeps our campus community so safe. We have kind of a medium-sized community here. Mount Pleasant isn't a huge town, but it's also not a small town, but we are the county seat. We have 5 local police departments and a traffic team that just monitors campus. Nothing negative, very bad stuff. That doesn't settle in here. It just doesn't settle in. It's so many police officers and so many different efforts. They all have jurisdiction right on Central's campus, and so we take a lot of pride in that. I asked some students, I took that same pad around, I said, give me some stats on safety. What do you guys think? Fill some students in, give them your advice, their tips. This is what they said. This student says, just use common sense. Always lock your door when you're away and take care of your laptop and money. Absolutely. Use common sense. Guys, I'm from Shepherd, Michigan. That's where I live right now. You guys, anybody from Shepherd? Woo! All right, Shepherd, right? Sometimes I have to remember to lock my doors because there is literally nothing where I live. It's really quiet out in Shepherd, Michigan. But the truth is, you just lock it up. It's common sense. Maybe you come from a very safe community. I don't care. Lock your stuff up. If we do have any crime on the campus, it's usually a product of students who feel too safe. You left the pizza money on the counter and you went down the hall to play a couple of games of Modern Warfare 3 or something like that on the Xbox, right? And you came back and your roommate spent your pizza money. Come on. Use common sense. Other students say, I lock my car. I don't leave my iPod in plain sight just in case. Don't leave your iPod Touch in plain sight. Nick, you hear me? Good. Good stuff. Campus, very well lit at night, but if it's dark, I walk with a friend. Awesome advice. We have a very safe campus. It's very, very well lit. In fact, our university president, our vice president, our director of admission walk the campus every year to make sure there's no dark alleyways, scary pathways, anything like that. It's a very busy and bustling campus from 9 a.m. to 9 o'clock at night. But if it's dark, great advice. Walk with a friend. This student said, when I study late at the library, I call Safe Rides. Perfect advice. Again, a free ride from anywhere on campus to anywhere else you want to go, even if it's just cold outside. All kinds of ways to get involved. More than 250 organizations. Guys, we have more student organizations in some universities twice our size. Academic, athletic, fraternity and sorority life, leadership, multicultural, performance, political, religious, volunteer and community service, and that's the big one. That is our largest piece of student involvement. We have one of the nation's largest collegiate volunteer centers located right here on campus. That means anytime there's a global justice or a social justice or a natural disaster in the world, CMU students are on a bus, a plane, or a 15-passenger van heading there. We do a lot to give back, both locally and internationally, and all over the country. Really, really neat program to take advantage of, Volunteer Center. Offers a variety of volunteer programs, and there's an online database for you guys to check out where those are being offered. You can give up your spring break, your winter break, even parts of your summer break to do these trips. Habitat for Humanity, work with inner city youth, domestic abuse, women's abuse shelters, cancer awareness, AIDS awareness, all kinds of ways to give back to the community. Leadership Camp and Safari. How many of you guys have heard of Leadership Safari? Raise your hand. I love it. Leadership Safari is one of the coolest programs that you can take advantage of, and we're going to cover it in just a moment, but I want to clue you in on one you may have not heard of. It's called Leadership Camp. Leadership Camp takes place in May. Many of you will not have yet graduated from high school when camp is about. You can still register for Leadership Camp. Registration materials are both on the leadership table, and they should also be upstairs on the residence life table. But Leadership Camp runs May 12th through the 14th, and they have a second session that runs the 17th through the 19th. It's right here on Central Michigan's campus. It's a 3-day conference that takes you through the social change model of leadership development. You look back after your 3 days on campus and you see how you've changed the world. It's very powerful. It's very, very cool for students to take advantage of. We take that program, we add a little Red Bull, we add 2 days onto it, and we call it Leadership Safari. Leadership Safari is a 5-day blowout campus leadership fair, all inclusive, all the meals, everything included. You're going to meet others, have fun, learn a ton, and participate in a fast-paced leadership initiative. It's going to take you through the 6 pillars of character counts, all right? And it's going to have facilitation, conflict negotiation, persuasion. It's going to offer you an ROTC challenge course, and there's also an entertainment portion, so you can listen to public speakers and comedians, even some music artists play. It's a really, really nice way to transition to college. It takes place the week before school starts. You'll move in 1 week early, pick that nice bunk bed before your roommates do. It's really nice. Experience tremendous growth. The Leadership Institute. The Leadership Institute is one of the only in the Midwest. And it's kind of a trifecta, and I mentioned this to a couple of students out by the hallway, but they really do 3 things, and they do a ton, but they do 3 things very, very, very well, and I want to clue you in on these. The first thing they have is a leadership scholarship. It's called the Leader Advancement Scholarship. The Leader Advancement Scholarship is an $8,000 award for being pretty involved in campus. Clubs, organizations, sports, conferences, competitions, workshops, foreign exchange experiences, community, volunteer service. Even if you have a job, anything you do outside of school counts in the Leadership Advancement Scholarship. It's an $8,000 award that can be added to any existing scholarship you already have, unless you have a full ride. Some of the students in there, I met some students today who have full rides to the university. Obviously, you can't make money on scholarships. That's called fraud. Everything else is fair game, though. $8,000 is fine. It's not due until February 24th now. We just extended the deadline. It was February 14th. It's now February 24th, so you have about 4 days to get that in. It's very crucial. If you're thinking about applying, information on the leadership table. They also have a leadership minor. It's one of the most popular minors on Central's campus. Again, facilitation, public speaking, conflict negotiation, persuasion, really, really neat thing. These are the types of the programs and products that employers are looking for in the future. A leadership minor. And students who study that leadership minor boast a very high job placement rate. They also house conferences and competitions throughout the entire year. This is the third part of the Leadership Institute. Whether you're a Leader Advancement Scholarship or a leadership minor or not, you can take part in all the leadership conferences throughout the year. Programs for seasoned leaders, emerging leaders, whether it's new to you or old to you, you can get involved in the Leadership Institute. Student programming. Guys, we're going to keep you on campus. There's literally a program every single week for you to get involved in. Music, comedy, special events. And the neat thing about this is you guys get to decide which artists come to campus. So if there's an artist out there that you really like, a musician, a comedian, you guys get to bring them to campus. You can be part of a really neat campus organization called Program Board, who actually handle all the contract and booking and negotiation with these agents and the contracts and the artists themselves. You get to meet these individuals. It's really neat. But this is how we keep students on campus during the weekends. We are very much not a campus where students go home on the weekends. Students stay, all right? Typically, students will visit home maybe once every 3 to 4 weeks. It tends to correlate well with the amount of time it takes for them to get to their laundry. I don't know why those tend to line up. They just seem to line up for some reason. All right? Student programming. University recreation, they have a huge booth on the second floor. I really encourage you to get involved with. This is something that almost every student will definitely get involved with. Fitness opportunities and fitness classes, yoga, 25-yard 6-lane pool, saunas, everything, all kinds of stuff for you guys to get involved in on campus. 12-lane bowling center, over 40 different intramural sports, whether it be intramural paper, rock, scissors, true, I'm not kidding, to NCAA bracketology, that's an intramural sport. Indoor soccer, outdoor soccer, flag football, basketball, even intramural wrestling, ping pong. You can play it all. Really, really neat intramural sports. Club sports, this is a little bit of a higher level of athletics. Club sports oftentimes require tryouts, and there's oftentimes dues associated or fundraising fees required to club sports. But this is a little bit more competitive at advantage. You're going to, as far as club sports, you're still going to compete on the NCAA level. You're going to have NCAA officiants. You're going to play other universities. So you still play teams like Michigan, Michigan State, Eastern, Western, Grand Valley, community colleges, that kind of stuff. So U.S. Central Michigan, we have club sports in all types of different events. We have club equestrian teams. We have a club swimming team, water polo. We have one of the best ultimate frisbee teams in the country. We have one of the best dodgeball teams in the country, too. Club dodgeball, I'm not kidding. And then the Take Care initiative. If there's nothing I convey to you tonight, I want you guys to pay attention to this. There is just something about CMU that is different than every other institution. It's the place where we look out for one another. It is the mantra, or just kind of the essence of the university, where when we're walking across campus, we hold the door for students. When we're walking across campus as students, we only keep one earbud in, we pop the other one out, and we keep our heads up. We say hello. We greet people when we walk, and we're crossing paths on campus. It's very much the kind of institution where professors are going to meet with you and work with you. It's very much the institution where you're not going to see someone stand back, cross their arms, and say, let's see what you got, and if it's good enough, I'll let you know. That's not who we are. We're a university that wants to engage with you, a university that wants to work with you, and a university that is going to really impress the heck out of you. And watch that investment press the heck out of us right back. We also look out for one another, okay? There's a care line, so if you have a fellow student who's really having a rough time making that transition to college, you can receive advice or get that person in touch with individuals who can help them out. If there's nothing I've impressed upon you tonight, is that there's all kinds of things for you guys to take advantage of here on campus, and it's very much the type of university that's going to look out for you and meet with you and work with you. And that is displayed tenfold by the people who are taking their nights off tonight to be here and meet with you: faculty, staff, personnel, support services. So ask them questions. This is our contact information: academic advising and orientation, admissions, residence life, scholarships, and you can Twitter us. We're also on Twitter. You can receive all that information out at the front desk. We have our business cards. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for coming tonight, taking time. Feel free to ask some questions. Have a great evening, safe trip home, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? Thank you.